Blog Talk Radio.
Dameless, skill, dameless, skill, dameless, skill,
Yo. What is up? What's good? This is Inspectah, and I went to my homeboy, M.Bowden. What's good with it?
What's good, world? M.Bowden, that's...
And today we're talking about the Sony hack and what's going on with Sony. And we're going to talk about that. We'll also discuss, which I heard about this morning, Stephen Collins. And for people that don't know, Stephen Collins is he put the dad on Seventh Heaven, taking it back to the 90s when I was a youngin', and that was the number one show at the time. And so if you want to join in on the conversation, make sure you call us at 347-826-7068. And Battle, repeat after me. It's 347 826 7068. So if you want to add into the conversation, just go ahead and call in, and we'll rap with you. Now, I'll start off with the Sony hack thing. For the last couple of weeks, people leaking shit out about Sony, talking about the actors, releasing some of the actors' social security numbers. They even there was one of the leaks came out how Sony didn't want Denzel Washington to star in The Equalizer, the movie that came out recently, starring Denzel Washington, because they didn't think he could be a good seller and all that. Cause I think that his days are beyond him, because he's getting old. He's 60 now, and I think a 60-year-old man could be an action star like he used to be. And they also leaked out some negative stuff about Leonardo DiCaprio and all that. But yesterday, we found out that the brains behind this hack and releasing all this shit about Sony is none other than North Korea. North Korea put up the ultimate cyber terrorist act by hacking into Sony computers, releasing all this shit out about Sony, and they're threatening Sony in the United States of America if they release this movie called The Interview, starring James Franco and Seth Rogen. And this movie is supposed to be coming out Christmas Day, which, as we all know, is just 2 weeks. Actually, not even 2 weeks. It's next week. Damn, time goes by fast. So, yeah, Christmas is next week. So the movie's supposed to come out next week, and Sony's pulling it. They're not going to come out with the movie. It's not going to be released because they're afraid that the last thing we need is North Korea to blow us the fuck up over a stupid-ass movie. So Sony's pulling off the movie. Now, as a budding filmmaker, as myself, if I was Seth Rogen and James Franco, I'd be pissed off because you put all your heart and your soul into making this movie, and because of, a country being a little sensitive, the movie's not going to come out now, even though you understand why Sony's doing what they're doing, because, like I said, last thing we need is, somebody, causing an act of terror over a movie. I mean, the last thing we need is start a war with North Korea over a movie. My only question is, why the fuck, we didn't send Dennis Rodman out there to talk to him, just calm him down a little bit, since Dennis Rodman is homeboys with, Kim Jong-un.
That's the same thing I was thinking.
Dennis Rodman could have went down there and just handled the situation. Calmed everything down to let Kim Jong-un. Like, look, dude, just a movie. It's just a movie, man. You ain't gotta cause a war over a movie. Just chill the fuck out.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation. We don't want to go to war over a movie.
That's it. I mean, they better change that shit in history. Why we fight North Korea, kids? Because we made a movie about them called The Interview. So that's a tricky situation. But I mean, overall, man, how do you feel? Because now a lot of these actors, they're threatening to sue Sony because North Korea, they're releasing all their social security numbers, emails, all kinds of shit. So this is a really big deal. And Sony's not just can tell you this is another movie just was come out in I think in April, starring can't think of the dude's name, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I can't
also It's also doing a movie about North Korea, so they're pulling all the movies out. But the question is, do you think, man, should they sue? For an actor? Because, I mean, the Social Security shit, man, that could happen to anybody. Any company that you work for, all they have to do is just hack into the company system and pull all that shit out. And that's one of the things about this world, all this technology coming out, is that, so everything's so accessible. You can hack into anybody's system, anybody's computer, and all your information be out there. But, I think this thing with Sony, it's really huge, and it's really big because, North Korea is really threatening us over a movie. And it sounds silly, but, these guys are taking it seriously. Bad, what do you think about all this, man?
I think it's just politics, just to take your eyes off of what's really going on in the country. That stuff. I mean, I wouldn't take it lightly. To protect the American people, I do everything at all costs to protect the American people. But don't it just seems like scare tactics? I mean, come on now, we America. We our phrase is, who gives a damn? We're gonna do what we want to do regardless of what you think. That's how we stand. But it seems like the more, time go by, it seems like we losing more freedoms. And we can't really say too much on the phone. We can't say, we losing freedoms because of terroristic acts. And it's like the terrorists win. It's like North Korea win. I mean, pull the movie.
Yeah.
So I mean,
in a movie in and out of that, but it's like,
and it's just a movie. It's just a movie. Come on,
yeah,
guys.
But Kim Jong-un, obviously he ain't got a sense of humor. And the whole movie's about killing him. Like I said, man, if I was Sony, I would just send Dennis Rodman on there just to handle the situation.
I mean, yeah, but
and sorry to cut you off, but they also just said that they remember that movie M.Bowden, Team America, made by the people that made South Park, came out. I think it came out like 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, they because that movie is about trying to kill Kim Jong-un's father, Kim Jong-il, and Paramount Pictures said that they're gonna cancel all showings of that movie. So any reruns of that movie, you no longer see that movie on TV no more because what's going on with North Korea right now.
Yeah.
Now it's just important too that you brought up about how we're losing the ways. How come 10 years ago we didn't give a fuck? You make a movie about making fun of North Korea, we're gonna release that shit. Now all of a sudden, we want to back it down and be scared and not release the movie.
It's just one of the things, man. Like I always say, we losing our freedoms, man. We losing our freedoms as time go by. I mean, you can't. America ain't like it used to be 10 years ago. After 9/11 change, you got the Patriot Act, you got all these elevated national security, orange, yellow, gray, purple, green. I think we on high alert right now for that, but I'm glad we've been protected. But at the same time, we losing freedoms, losing a lot of freedoms. I mean, like I said, I was listening to Michael Graham today. Shouts out to Michael Graham, Shouts out to Michael Graham and the Kimmer, Shouts out to Kimmer.
Mm-hmm.
But they was talking about it, and they was saying the same things. It's like we just bowing down to the terrorists right now. Terrorists scream and cry. We cater to them. We pacify them. Okay, we're gonna pull the movie. That lost some money. Somebody lost some money doing it.
Yeah, that's what I said. If I was Seth Rogen and James Franco, whoever made this movie, I'd be pissed off. Like, you just take millions and millions of dollars out of my pocket because you want to back down terrorism. And in my opinion, this is how we need to be. This is America that we need to be. You know what I'm saying? This right here. America, fuck yeah. That's what we need to be. You know what I'm saying? fuck everybody. You know, we're America. You know what I'm saying? Because freedom is the only way.
Put it on the phone so they can hear the music, man.
Yeah, America. This is what we're all about right here. McDonald's, Walmart, Gap, baseball, football. Fuck all that. We don't back down on nobody because we're America.
That's
we're
right.
America. That's what it's all about right there. And that's how we need to be. You know,
but what else,
we're all about America.
That's right. That's right. But what else going on? What's else going on in the news? I heard about Barack Obama doing peace talks with Cuba. What's going on with that?
That one is interesting as well because what's going on with Cuba, it's not really so much, I guess it's peace talks, but it's pretty much allowing people to come into the country because the way their government's set up, you know, the government communism dictates everything that goes on and what the people can and cannot do, and it's so fucked up that that you know people have to get on boats and float over here, or the motherfuckers actually swim 90 miles from Cuba to Miami just to escape that the shit that's going on in that country, and it's just it's to me personally I feel uncomfortable talking about it because I'm not Cuban, and I don't fully understand how it doesn't really affect me. Obviously, there's a lot of Cubans in this country, especially down there in Florida, where they sacrificed and came to this country not only for a better life for themselves, but also to just so their kids won't have to struggle the same way they had to struggle and go through the same bullshit that they went through growing up in Cuba. And right now, a lot of people, especially in Florida, Miami in general, is pissed off right now at the government and at Barack Obama for making a deal with quote unquote the devil. And for me, it's a touchy subject because I'm not Cuban, so I don't really know. I guess from the outside looking in, you assume it's a good thing, but if Cubans, especially Cubans in this country, Cuban Americans, if they're not happy with it, then to me it's hard to really say.
Well, Kelly, send out that number and tell some to call in and tell they could express themselves and let us know how the treatment and how they feel about the situation. Give them the number.
Yeah. So if you're Cuban, or if you're not Cuban, if you know somebody that's Cuban, or if you're married to a Cuban, or whatever, you just call in 347-826-7068. Again, number's 347-826-7068. Just call in and tell us how you feel about the situation. About it. I mean, but how do you feel about making this pact with Cuba and U.S. and how do you feel that Cubans should feel? A lot of Cubans, especially Cubans here in America, they're mad about it. So I mean, how do you feel about it?
Well, me personally, I'm always optimistic about situations like that, because ain't they a socialist or a communist party? They're a communist government regime, right?
Yeah.
And is Barack Obama trying to make them a democratic society or trying to lean them towards that?
No, he's just trying to restore a relationship with them.
Anything that I feel is a good thing, because I feel that but it's all about what the president's agenda. See, I don't know his agenda, so I really can't speak upon that. But I always look at peace talks always a good thing. I always look at that. Because
pretty much what it does, it ends. Like I said, the mini Cold War we've had with Cuba over the last 50 years. We pretty much have had a bad relationship with Cuba pretty much since going all the way back to when John F. Kennedy was president, we had the whole Cuba Missile Crisis. But again, it's hard for me to quote because I'm not Cuban. And like I said, a lot of Cuban Americans are pissed off, especially ones that immigrated from here, from Cuba. But I think it's a fair question to ask, and you brought this up, what's Obama's intentions here? And I think more important, what's Castro's intention here? Are they doing this to better, the relationship between the Cubans and the United States, and as you said, end communism, or are they doing this just to put more money in their pockets?
It's an interesting topic. I just like to see how far it's gonna go. And really want to hear from the callers to see, personally, see how they feel about it. Because I would like to know the relationship that they have with their president and the people. I would like to know what's going on the inside, to where people always say,
well, from what we understand is that, from what I understand is that, Cubans hate Castro, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah. Well, ain't nothing like getting it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But I mean that ended that, and Senator Marco Rubio, he's a Republican from Florida. He's a Cuban, and he's actually going to be running for president in 2016. So
okay.
I figured that we could have a Cuban president if he wins. But even he is against what the government, what the White House is doing, and that he thinks that what Obama is doing is wrong. So again, it's hard for me because, like I said, from the outside, you think that this is a good thing, but from the from the outside, you think it's a good thing. But again, if you're not Cuban, it's really hard to judge. Neither one of us are Cuban, so we can't. It's hard for us to look at it from their point of view.
Right. What else going on in the news, man?
Things going on in the news right now is Stephen Collins. And
okay.
For those of you that don't know, I'm not sure if even you know, because I didn't even know until this morning.
Right.
I mean, I know who he is because I remember the show. Seventh Heaven was a popular show back in the 90s. It was a show about a Christian family, and this guy who played a pastor on the show, who was the dad, had a wife, had like 5 kids. Seventh Heaven. Didn't really watch it too much because, back then, out of 90 sitcoms, I was pretty much mostly a Martin guy. But I have heard of the show. I've probably seen a couple episodes here and there. And he admitted that he's had inappropriate sexual behavior with young girls. And he made a confession that he's done some things with little girls. And him and his wife had to go to, his then wife, they're not divorced. Man, I don't blame him. I would divorce his ass too, fucking around with little girls. But he had to go to a therapy session in 2012. He said that now he claims that this happened 40 years ago, that he was fooling around with little girls 40 years ago, and he makes it seem like it was a one-time thing. Again, it gets similar to the Bill Cosby thing. Like, if it happened 40 years ago, why is it all of a sudden coming up now? But to me, unlike Bill Cosby, I think, well, obviously it's true because he admits to doing this. At the same time, I think it might be a lot more. I think he probably did it more than just one time for all of a sudden his wife to leave him. You don't just divorce a man if or some shit happened 40 years ago. Nah, there's a good chance he might be fucking around with little girls right now. But that's huge because he played a minister on TV for many years on Seventh Heaven.
And a father.
I understand. It's just a TV show. He's just an actor. That's not really him. But he had this goody two shoes image, and now you finding out, man, that he likes little girls. He got a little R. Kelly in him.
Now let's let's R. Kelly. Let's make it clear to the people out there. When you say little girls, you talking about 18, or you talking about 8?
He doesn't specify. He just says little girls. Now,
when you say young girl, you're like, oh, I'm 50 years old, but I'm fooling with that 19-year-old chick. That's
now.
He all right.
My thing is, for his wife to leave him, and for him to go through therapy. I'm assuming we're talking minors, 17 and younger. He doesn't really specify.
But that's the statutory rape then. Statutory rape, or child molestation. Up in them lines, little girl, when I think of little girl, okay, he's 40, he probably messing with a, 18, 19-year-old, they illegal, Not saying that, it's gross, but at the same time, to each his own. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, to each his own, but as far as fooling with children, that's bad.
Well, yeah, because everybody's into their own thing. I mean, look at, what's his name? Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is like 55, but he just married a 28-year-old. Now, his wife is our age, but yeah, he's old enough to be that girl's daddy.
So are criminal charges being pressed against this guy?
No, they're not. No, they're not. He there's a rumor that he's done things with again, as he calls them, young girls, which is a very vague statement. I'm assuming they're minors, but he doesn't really say. So the rumors have been out there for months, and he finally came out yesterday and admitted they did it. Now he's saying he did the shit 40 years ago. His wife, even though she hasn't said anything, but his wife is leaving him. So I have a hard time believing that your wife's going to leave you over some shit that you did 40 years ago.
So what made him confess? What made him confess to all of this?
Because it's out there. It's out there. The rumors have been out there, and instead of him doing what Bill Cosby is doing, which is fighting it, he went ahead and said, you know what, it's true, I did it. But he's just saying that happened 40 years ago. Now, the man is Stephen Collins is 67. He's 67 years old. So
40 years ago.
40 years ago, you're talking about in the 70s when he was 27. But yeah, he doesn't really
back in the day, back in them days, times, laws and stuff was different. Back in them days, but that rock and roll singer, he married a 13-year-old girl. You remember that, don't you? I forgot.
Yeah. I remember that. Okay, now here's the report. People magazine reported that People magazine reported that he had sex with 3 minors, once in 1973, once in 1982, and once in 1994.
He messing up.
Now, and in 2012, the NYPD did an investigation on him for having sex with a minor. Now, 2012, that was just 2 years ago now. NYPD did an investigation. So, but he's saying that this only happened 40 years ago. So he's admitting that he did have sex with a minor back in 1973. But these reports saying that he did it in 82 and 94. And like I said, there's an investigation by the NYPD as recently as 2012. And so
now, I'm going always, I'm going to send a shout-out to Bill Cosby, and I'm going to send a shout-out to him because, we love you. But, right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm going to leave it at that. And now I'm going to say that Bill Cosby, wasn't he clear off a statute of limitations just the other day?
Well, he wasn't really clear. The thing with Bill Cosby is different than this situation because this situation,
he's admitting it.
Yeah, he's admitting it as A, but B, he's been investigated. Even though he's claiming that it happened in 1973, the investigation, there's been reports that happened in the 80s, there's been reports that happened in the 90s, and now there's an investigation that happened in New York as recently as 2012. That's just 2 years ago. So for him, it's different. Bill Cosby, you have all these women coming out of the woodwork claiming that Bill Cosby raped them, 40, 30 years ago. One woman says 76, There's one woman, she's actually an actress on, I want to say, Law and Order or some shit like that. She's claiming that Bill Cosby raped her back in 82. So all these women are coming out, but the problem is that there's no proof. Bill Cosby's fighting it, saying that this shit never happened. His wife has backed him up. His daughter's backed him up. Even some of the people on the Cosby Show, like Felicia Rashad, who played Claire Huxtable, I think Lisa Bonet, who played Denise. They've all, and Rudy, I can't think of her name right now, the woman that plays Rudy. They've all backed him up. This guy, nobody's really backing him up. Like I said, his wife left him, which, makes me suspicious. Because his wife didn't even have his back. She was like, fuck, I'm gone. So his wife left him.
Well, admitted to something that happened 40 years ago, and they were still together. They 27, they probably were married. Maybe she knows something that don't nobody else know.
Well, I mean, not only that, but like I said, that it happened 40 years ago, but there's also people that came out and said that happened in the 80s. There's people that came out and said that happened in the 90s. There was a case in the 90s. And now, like I said, there's a case that happened as recently as 2012. That was just 2 years ago. So this guy is more recently, and he's admitting that he did it, but he's saying that he only did the one in the 70s. He's not fessing up to what happened in the 90s. He's not fessing up to what happened 2 years ago, even though 2 years ago, when he was investigated, he went to therapy for it. You don't go to therapy if there's nothing there. Like the old saying says, where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, Bill Cosby is different because these women are coming out 40 years later saying that they raped him, and they want. I don't know what these women are trying to get out of it, but the LAPD pretty much has said that because of statute of limitations, they're not even going to waste their time investigating it. And there's no point investigating it because you can't investigate something that happened 40 years ago. Because rape cases are all about DNA, and if you had sex with somebody 40 years ago, that DNA is long gone. Even if you did it, even let's say they did have sex, but it was consensual. That DNA, that Bill Cosby's DNA inside that girl's, coochie, that shit's been gone. That shit was gone years ago.
Right.
So there's nothing to investigate. There's nothing for the cops to look into.
Well, it's a sticky situation, and I just hate, with Bill Cosby case, I just hate that, till the Joker get up in age and then they bring all this out on him. I mean, Bill Cosby had a successful career. He's a good, wholesome kind of guy. Everybody know Bill Cosby. What the show, A Different World, and he would co-host. I think did he produce that show, A Different World?
Yeah, he produced A Different World because
yeah.
I'm about to give you guys a little Bill Cosby trivia.
And then
the show was originally supposed to be for Lisa Bonet. It's supposed to be a spin-off, give Lisa Bonet some shine, give her own show. Lisa Bonet, she played Denise. Right. So the character was meant for her because Denise's character went to college, and for whatever reason, after the first season, Lisa Bonet decided she didn't want to do the show anymore. So they just made the show about all the other characters that went to that school.
Okay.
So that's little useless Bill Cosby Different World trivia right there.
We love you, Bill. Hey, keep your head up.
Yeah, but what I wonder though with this shit though is that are they going to do this guy what they did with Bill Cosby? Because are they going to start canceling? Are they going to keep showing reruns of Seventh Heaven? What's going to happen with that? Seventh Heaven ran from '96, and they finally canceled it in 2007. So that show's on for 11 years. So and it was one of the most popular shows of the '90s. Like I said, early 2000s. And so this is a huge because Stephen Collins. I guess because of the character that he played on that show. You can call him the white Bill Cosby. But
10 seconds, bro. Send your shout out.
That's the end of the show for today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. We out.
Out.